Alright guys, welcome back to the shop. It is Saturday. It was a little chilly this morning. I just cut my heater off, just knocked the chill off in there. What I want to get done today is I want to try to get all these three pieces welded back in. See, I already took the grinder and cleaned that one up and did that the other day. And now I gotta drill me a hole so I can weld on here. But I got a problem here. I'm gonna have to beat this area right here back down before I can do anything. It's gonna have a high point there if I don't. And I think what I'm gonna do with this area is I'm gonna take that other cab I got and I'm just gonna cut out a section like that. This is gonna be a hard place to bend something to make it work right in here. So I think that would be the best thing to do. You have to keep finding junk in here. Alright guys, what I was gonna do was chase these threads before I weld that up. And the cab mount bolts are a 1/2 inch by 13, and I found that by just using the die here. The 1/2 inch by 13 die fit it perfectly. So I go over here to my tap, my 1/2 inch tap, and I look, and it's a 9/16 by 12 tap, and my 9/16 tap is a 9/16 by 12 tap. So whoever put this kit together gave me two 9/16 by 12 taps instead of a 1/2 inch tap. So that really ticks me off. Alright guys, so what I did, well, I just took me a 1/2 inch bolt and I just cut some grooves down the threads of it. It's got 3 of them in there. Hopefully that'll be enough. What I'll do is this piece of crap out of here. I'll spray this good with some rust penetrant. I'll thread that in and I'm gonna run it on in until it's getting a little tight. The whole freaking cab won't move with it. Hopefully that yeah, can't really see with the light. Might get a flashlight to see that. Them threads are a little rough looking on one side. I think they cross-threaded it. Probably what happened when they originally I think they replaced this cab, and I think they cross-threaded that bolt. Probably the reason it broke it free inside there, because that bolt was hanging loose about that far. I mean, they probably couldn't get it out either once they broke this nut free. But hopefully, I'm pretty sure I got all the way down through the threads, so hopefully that'll be good. So now we're going to take something and beat this lip down right there. I've already drilled me a hole in my piece. We'll take this grinder, clean up the edges real good. Alright, so I don't know, I guess I bent that trying to get that piece up. Now, but she's good. Alright, so now we'll get our grinder and we'll clean the edges up. This is galvanized, and I would recommend, you know, when you're welding galvanized, to wear a respirator if you're doing a whole lot. But I may put one on when I get ready to finish tacking it. But right now I'm just going to tack 4 corners, or a couple places on each side, and we'll see how bad the smoke is. Burning through it. I'm going to have to back it off a little bit. That stuff's pretty rough. Woo. Right through the hole, didn't it? Now. Burnt right through that corner, didn't it? Still way down too high. I don't know. I may have to cut it down low 2. See what that does. There was one thing I forgot to do. I forgot to turn that wire over. I noticed in that video about converting this machine over, it hadn't been posted yet because my computer's dead. But I had my wire upside down in the MIG, so I'm going to flip it over. I don't know if that's what's causing it, just this ground being the way it is. Something. I don't know if this is ground or what. I think I need to find me a good place on this floor. Give me a better ground. So thin. Looks like shit right now, but I think we'll keep tagging it around and around and around. We'll get it where it wants to be. Alright guys, got her all welded up and ground down, and this is what she looks like. It is a little rough, but all the holes, you can't see through no holes, and of course it's going to be covered up with the floor matting, and you never know it once the floor mat goes in. So you know, it ain't like it's going to be outside where it's got to be real, you know, where I'm going to use body filler and all that to smooth it out. I'm not going to worry about it in the truck cab itself, but the main thing was to get all the cracks filled in, and I think I accomplished that. So the next step is going to be this one right here, and I'm hoping that's going to be a little bit easier not having that little 45-degree angle I'm butting into. And plus, I believe on that one side it's still fairly attached, so it's just going to be a matter of just running the bead down through there and filling it up. I did have to go down to low 1 and 2 to do this. Low 2 had the better penetration, but it was cutting through the metal, and so sometimes I'd go to a low 1, which is the lowest setting it'll go, just to kind of build it up a little bit. But then when I grind it down, I'd go back low 2 and then tack the hole closed. So that's basically what I did. And of course, you got to have your PPE, safety glasses, ear muffs, gloves, respirator. My mask is not big enough to fit that respirator in, so I ain't able to use it while I'm welding, but I do use it when I'm grinding. And I encourage anybody that's doing this type of work to wear a respirator when grinding. You see how dirty that the filter's getting on it. I do have some replacement cartridges and filters, but I'm gonna save my cartridges until I get ready to paint, and then I'll swap, put new cartridges in. So anyway guys, we're gonna get started on this other one, and of course I'm gonna prep it the same way. I'm gonna fold it. I'm gonna run my chaser through the nut. I'm gonna fold the lip down, grind it all around it, and tack it, and then weld it up and grind it down. And I'll show you what it looks like when I get done. Alright guys, here's the finished product on this side here. Got one more side to go. This one gave me a little bit of trouble in this corner right here wanting to burn out, but other than that, did a pretty good job. You can see where I've ground probably down a little more than I should have, but it's got the little blue spots here and there. But I think once we get ready to paint the cab, that we'll put some we'll first put some etching primer on that, then some high fill primer, and that'll be alright. One more to go before we start on the rust areas, and probably won't get to that today, but we'll at least try to get this one done. Alright guys, I got finished with the last one, and I had a little bit of trouble with this one. My gas, I guess, got pinched. I had the hose run through this hole here and in here, so I wouldn't have to move my welder, wouldn't have to move my ground. But apparently with that hose way it was, I wouldn't get any gas, so I'm sitting here tacking away, and I realized I'm not hearing the gas flow, and it did okay, it just wasn't getting a good penetration. So remedied that, went back and tacked some more, and you can see I got a little bit hot right there, but this piece was bent down a little bit, and I bent it back, I thought, but it was still a little bit. It actually looks worse in the camera than it really is. It looks like there's a big groove right here, but there's not. So I say we're done with the with fixing them. I did have to go back and tack that nut again. The bead that was on there, when I run the bolt down in there, my nut was wiggling. So I went back and I tacked the bead to the wall again, and seemed to stabilize that nut. So I'm glad I went ahead and did that, chase those nuts before I welded it up, because I'm afraid if that bead had broke, I would not have been able to get that bolt in. Now only other one I got is this one, and I'll have to do it from up underneath. So I will chase the threads on it before I put it on the frame anyway. I'm not going to do it today, but anyway, guys, that's the way it is. And I've been this is where I've been welding, low 1 at about 7 wire speed, and it seems to do the best with this sheet metal. That's fairly low amperage, and I'm still getting a lot of popping. So I'm still thinking this thing, you know, I had trouble with it feeding with the flux core, and I think it's still having trouble feeding this other wire. Every now and then it'll go popping and spitting, and it won't be feeding. I didn't have any issues welding. It never got hot. What I did is I welded all I could see, and then I'd grind it smooth, and I'd go back and touch up the holes and grind it again. I did that about 3 times to get it to where it's at. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. And we're going to start on this floor next week.